well enough. Where to next?
Gran, I want to learn magic, please.
This again, child. You know full well your father has forbidden it. There are plenty of things more deserving of your interest. Why not turn your aspirations elsewhere?
Why must you always take Father's side? I'd have thought you'd understand how I feel better than anyone.
There are one or two places of interest nearby. I could tell you more about them if you like, Master.
Why won't they let me study magic? It isn't fair.
What am I to do with that girl? Would that I could allow her to do as she pleases, but 'tisn't to be.
Gathering materials makes for dull work indeed.
What is it? If you're looking for Gran, she's out. 'Tis dreadful dull round here. How long do they mean to shut me away? All I want is to study magic, but Gran refuses to teach me. If only I had a grimoire or two, then I could study on my own. If you find any grimoires, would you bring them to me? You needn't seek them out. Any you happen to find will do. Still, I'll write up a list of the tomes I'd most like, so you know which ones to keep an eye out for. Let's see. There. All done. Mayhap I was a little overeager, but you needn't bring them all. Just 2 or 3 would be swell. Though I would be thrilled to have the lot. Oh, and Gran is like to confiscate the grimoires should she espy them. Pray hand them to me when she's not at home.
So, we are to scour for the grimoires on Miss Tricia's list.
Have you brought me a grimoire, sir? Thank you for all the grimoires, sir. Is that the last of them you'll be bringing? Then you have my gratitude for all you've done. Oh, mayhap this will suffice. 'Tis a ring my father gave me. 'Tis only fitting, really, given he was the one who forbade my studies in the first place. Go on. 'Tis no cheap trinket. Now, I'd best take my leave of you. I've my studies to attend to.
If 'tis an obscure text we seek, methinks Magistrate Waldar is our best hope. His knowledge of tomes is unparalleled. I know where that person can be found, Master. This way.
Perhaps you might provide me with some... Do take care on the road, sir. These are...
You shan't hear me complain about... A ladder, is it? How convenient.
After you, Arisen. tactics are at your disposal.
Trisha! Trisha! Oh my God! We managed to avoid the worst by some miracle. I am grateful for your aid. You must come visit us again, once she has recovered.
It was a near thing, but Miss Trisha is saved. Let us look in on her again in the coming days to see how she fares.
Very well, if I must.
I am grateful to you. Come visit us again, once
How goes it?
Hoy, 'twould seem I've you to thank for saving me as well as Gran. Who could have suspected things would happen as they did? 'Twas as though my very self was about to vanish. Gran said 'twas because the magic within me is many times greater than 'tis within other people. She's going to teach me how to control my magic so it won't happen again. I can hardly wait. Oh, that reminds me. Keep this a secret from Gran. I'll need to study hard if I'm to try it without exploding again.
To think the young lass bore such fearsome potential. 'Tis a gladsome thing you managed to save her, master.
A practical choice I've naught to complain of.
I always wanted to learn magic, but now I know not to underestimate the dangers it can pose. I'm going to devote myself to my studies till I've got my powers well under control.
Ah, you've come. My thanks again for your aid in saving Trisha's life. Now, I have a question for you, and I beg you to answer it honestly. I shan't condemn you for it. You couldn't have known the dangers 'twould pose, and nor could Trisha. You see, a similar deluge of magic to the one you witnessed consumed Trisha's mother, and she perished. Her father feared the same fate would befall his daughter, and bade me to keep her from dabbling in magic. But now that Trisha has awoken to the wellspring within her, I will need to teach her to control it. She will have her wish after all.
Here, if you please.
How goes it?
Is this a challenge arisen to see who can keep pace?
No time to catch your breath. Try to keep up.
I don't believe I had any visitors today. My interest is piqued. Very well. You may enter. Now then, what business have you with me? Could it be you have come to learn of my magic, I wonder many are those who have knocked at my door only to walk away broken and defeated. Perhaps you would allow me to test your resolve? Bring me the grimoires I yet lack. I will not demand that you gather them all. A few shall suffice to prove your determination. Have you found any grimoires? This will suffice. You have proven your determination. Unless you intend to seek out the rest of the grimoires? Very well. Then your trial is complete, and I shall teach you my magic in time. Patience, my pupil. I merely wish to observe your skills a little longer. A riddle most inscrutable. Meteoron? What manner of magic is that? It differs from all magics known to me. I cannot even begin to unravel the process behind its formulation. Tell me, who taught you this magic? Trisha taught you? That cannot be. And why is this the first I'm hearing of this? Amy ought to have informed me at once. Wait. You had a hand in this, didn't you? Amy would ne'er have allowed this to come to pass unless some meddler had forced her hand. Hold. Why is that ring in your possession? It ought to be on my daughter's hand, not yours. I gave it to her as a gift. She gave it to you, you say? Could it be she resents me? Never mind. I would be alone with my thoughts. Leave me. Leave me. I shall hear word of my daughter from Amy, not from you.
Good to see you, Master.
Methinks enough time has passed for Sir Murden to put his thoughts in order. What say we look in on him at his manor? Ah, yes, I know just where to find this person. Follow me.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
Good, we're here.
Amy has told me of aught that transpired. 'Twould seem you were instigator and savior, both in this affair. In truth, I know not what to think of you. Looking upon your countenance fills me with rage, and yet I cannot deny my gratitude to you. I dreaded the thought of my daughter sharing her mother's fate. Yet I see now that my attempt to protect her was merely suffocating her. In hindsight, mayhap you did what was best for my daughter and her happiness. But as her father, 'twas not a choice I could have made. If you would still learn of my magic, I must ask you to grant me time to consider whether or not I am fain to do so.
Have you business with the guild, sir? I should be... Glad to assist you. Do come again.
Can we expect your magics to clear the field in one?
I'll not allow a single enemy to flee the wrath of your spells.
Do take care on the road, sir. These are dangerous times we live in.
Much obliged.
Am I the first to note?
What is it? Got a question about my training regime? Suppose that was an unlikely guess. None took to the training like you did. Open to in... No. A pity. I'd hoped to add you to our ranks. You'd seem like you'd be fit for battle, even if I were to call upon you on the morrow. Which is... Apologies for assuming. We've had fewer folks looking to enlist of late, and I'm hungry for recruits. Many keep their distance on account of the instructor being a beastron. How very Vermundian of them. At the very least, I'd like to provide some decent training to the soldiers we have now. Easier said than done, especially when the weapons we were promised have yet to arrive. It isn't like to boost their morale having rusted steel to train with. What I wouldn't give for some decent weapons and a soldier to act as an example. Someone with motivation to grow. That'd light a fire under them, I reckon. Mayhap you could aid us. I know 'tis much to ask of anyone, let alone a stranger, but what else am I to do? Much appreciated. We'd welcome what you can spare.
Sir Baron's request is quite understandable. Weaponry and motivated soldiers are the pillars of any military.
Well met. Have you any weapons for me? Good of you to go to the trouble. Many thanks. We'll gladly make use of what you've given us. Those weapons you gave us have made all the difference. Yet the recruits still lack for motivation. They need someone to act as an example. A dedicated soldier who's keen to improve. Do you know?
We're in the right place, but the one we're due to meet is yet to show. Ought we to wait?
Say, you've got a decent arm on you. No need to be humble. Just the other day, I watched you fell a massive monster with my own two eyes. I've ne'er seen the like. Pray, sir, teach me to fight like you do. I'm after an instructor, see, but the ones in this city are cravens all. The sort that decided to teach to avoid the battlefield. If I'm to grow stronger, I need to learn from someone who's seen actual battle. A real warrior, such as yourself. Won't you give me a chance? And this Baron fellow, he's a real warrior? I suppose you wouldn't recommend him if he wasn't. And after all, I've seen your prowess. I'm inclined to trust your judgment. Many thanks, sir. Methinks I'll seek out this Baron and see what he can teach me.
Here, if you please. We've arrived, I see.
I've you to thank for that new recruit, aye? The lad's well eager, he is. He fears naught, and he follows my commands with nary a word of complaint. Soldiers like him boost the morale of all around them. His presence bodes well, and I've you to thank for it. There's just one problem. Seeing a lad so spirited, so foolhardy, makes me recall a time when I was much the same. Sets my blood to boiling, you see. Makes me yearn for a bout with a skilled combatant. Need I explain further? I test my steel against yours, friend. What say you? Care to spar with me a bit? Glad to hear it. Follow me, then. Think of it like a game. Whoever steps out first, loses. Simple. Seeing as you're no warrior, you do well to strike when I'm off balance. Let's begin. Fight well. Stay around. Have you forgotten what we're here for? Your objective is to knock me out of bounds, not beat me senseless. That was well fought. You're even stronger than I'd anticipated. I dare say I needed that. You've my thanks. I've ne'er met anyone like you. You've done more for me this past while than anyone I've known has e'er troubled to. A commendable sort you are. Would that I had some way to repay you for all the good you've done me.
Sir Baron, you must come, and quickly. A goblin pack has descended over by the rope bridge. We're in need of your aid.
My thanks for the report. I'll go at once. Goblins can be dastardly. We'll have need of capable fighters. The more, the better. I'd fain have you at my side, friend, if you'd be willing to join the fray. Quick! Eye here! Watch my back!
My shift's done. I mustn't let the captain see my knees.
I must be vigilant. Townspeople depend on it.
Can't expect to fare so well every year. What ruins your day? Like getting cut open.
Fancy a gander? I'd find good to say.
What was that? Randall! What happened? Speak to me, lad!
Sir, we managed to fell the goblins, but then a cyclops charged us out of nowhere, wounded and enraged. We stuck the beast with arrows till one of them pierced its eye. It fled, but I've no doubt 'twill return.
Never mind that, lad. You survived, and that's what counts. Let's get you back to the... Twould seem my days of peace are at an end. Do you recall the soldier we met on the road? He was rather badly injured in the goblin melee. They'll want me to take responsibility for that, I just know it. Shan't be long afore I'm forced to resign from my post. I doubt such a thing would be asked of any human instructor. But I'm bestian, aren't I? There's no fighting it. But I'll be damned if I let the troops suffer on my account. In the time that remains to me, I'll get them trained up as best I can.
The fiends were felled, yet Sir Baron will be made to suffer all the same. 'Tis a hard life for beastrons in Vermont.
Now we've done it. Follow me, then. Unless you doubt...
This shan't go down well.
And here we are, in the blink of an eye. Shall we take stock of our surroundings?
Magister, do take care on the road, sir.
You shan't hear me complain about...
Welcome.
A good sleep does wonders. Could you come over here?
Well met. You couldn't have come at a better time. Word of my dismissal arrived just a few hours past. 'Twould seem my time here's reached its end. Can't say I'm happy about it. I'm rather fond of this place. And if you'll remember, 'tis where you and I first spoke. Going, are you? Be well, friend.
Sir! A Cyclops has come!
And I thought I was something. Oh.
Beast can scarce stand. A well-placed strike is in the gazing skyward.
The moment of victory is at hand. Let us finish.
Fine. You mustn't let it approach.
Stand firm! Is everyone all right?
Aye, sir. I've been better, as 'twere, but I'll...
Glad to hear it. Make for the encampment and inform your captain of what happened here. Quickly now.
Aye, sir.
I knew you'd see it.
Full glad I am to see you unharmed, my friend. Many thanks for your aid back there. Gotta be careful. Nearly trod on a flower. Hi there. Impeccable timing as always. I was just wondering if I'd get to see you one more time before I departed. You've done much on my behalf, 'tis true. I can't rightly express how grateful I am to you, friend. If this ordeal has taught me anything, 'tis to have faith in my ability as an instructor. That's why I'm headed for the checkpoint rest town, in Batal. See, I have a friend who emigrated there, who happens to be in need of an instructor. And I figured if I'm being ousted anyhow, might as well go someplace new. Even if it means serving under different banners, at least I'll still be helping soldiers come home, and in one piece. Suppose this is where we part, eh? And may the sun shine brightly on whate'er road you're traveling.
I'm glad to know that Sir Baron has found a new path. Mayhap we ought to go and visit him later. See how he fares.
Not a bad idea. He thinks I know where that individual is to be found. Uncommon materials can be found here, methinks.
Well, well.
Well now, this is a nice surprise. Care for some?
If you're e'er in trouble, I'd fain come to your aid.
Aye, you've a bit of a special place in my heart. This is for you. Aye, you're welcome to stay away.
I don't know about you, Master, but I'm worn out. Mightn't we have a...
I invited myself along. No such thing as too much training, eh? I plan to keep it up, just like Baron taught me, till I'm even strong.
You're a welcome sight, Arisen. As ever, I'm yours to command.
And here we are, in the blink of an eye. Shall we take stock of our surroundings?
What do you want? I'm in no mood to have my ear talked off, thank you. My back's afire. I can scarce talk for the pain. Leave an old man be. Mind, I wouldn't say no to some wildflowers, if you happen to have any with you. A handful of those, and I could prepare a poultice that'd help me make it home. What is it now? Unless you brought me some wildflowers, I'd prefer to be left alone. Well, that was most kind of you. My thanks for the trouble. Right, here goes naught. Relief at last. I was beginning to fear that I'd be stuck here for the rest of my days. I've a mind to thank you, sir. Would you look in on me at my home? I live nearby. There aren't too many houses out here, so you'll find it soon enough, I expect.
Sir Gaustafer spoke of a reward for our efforts. Should we call upon him at his home?
Very well.
I'll guide you there directly.
Well, if you insist. I'm only glad I don't have to lead the way for a change.
Come to think of it, we're all of differing vocations, aren't we? So, we finally arrived. I thought we'd never make it.
I? Beg pardon, sir, but...
Forgive me, dear. I forgot to tell you. I asked this good sir to look in on me.
Oh, not this again. How many times have I begged you not to bring strangers into our home?
I know, dear, but this one's a kindly sort. Brought me the wildflowers I needed to make it home when I threw out my back.
'Tis always one reason or another, isn't it? And has it e'er ended well for us? Not once. Mark my words, no one wanders this far out unless they are running from something.
This one's different, I promise you. You've heard tell of the Arisen, have you not? The hero who travels far and wide to track and fell the dragon.
Oh? So this stranger claims to be the Arisen? Believe what you will, but expect no hospitality from me. You may tend to our guest yourself.
You will have to forgive my wife. She has her reasons for being mistrusting, but you deserved a warmer welcome than that. Now let me fetch your reward. Wait here a moment. Fie! My back! I've done it in again!
Gaustafer, when will you learn to be more gentle with yourself?
Oh, hold your tongue! All the gentleness in the world won't stop the hurt from coming on when 'twill. It's only gotten worse of late. There's naught for it but to make for the curative spring.
In your state, you'll ne'er reach it. And that's to say nothing of the monsters that haunt the roads out there. They'll be on you in a moment if they see you limping along on your own. Oh, would that I could take you to the spring myself, but alas,
Don't even think on it, my dear. I'd not ask that of you, knowing how crowded places of that ilk make you feel.
But what are we to do? I fear for you, my love. The hot spring over on the island encampment would do my husband a world of good, but the way is treacherous for an injured man on his lonesome.
Fake stone shards are treasures to be prized, though only when made whole can they work their...
Fear not. You'll have your reward. I just need to sit still a moment. You'd be willing to accompany me all that way? You see, my dear, what did I tell you? The Arisen's a goodly sort. I've an eye for people.
Oh, don't be a fool, Gaustafa. You have barely spoken to this person. What if you were being deceived? Did you think of that?
Come. Surely there are far more clever lies to tell if one's intent is to swindle. I'm not sure I can afford to refuse aid so freely given, my dear.
So be it then. 'Tis plain your mind's made up.
We'd best be along. My back isn't like to fix itself.
Pray see my husband safely to the encampment. I shall await your return.
This curative spring sounds as if 'twould do wonders for an aching back. Let us see the good dwarf there post-haste. Very well. I'll guide you there directly.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
It's a battle already. It wasn't much of a reprieve.
Try not to get hit, lest all that vim go to waste. Naught compares to the thrill of victory. One cannot help but feel indomitable.
No doubt this triumph will spur us into the next.
Oh, a ballista.
Let us make use of this during battle. I've no doubt 'twould catch our foes unawares.
Time for a few... Puh! That's like to make me sick, it is. Still, there's not a swig of newt lick I can't fix, I always say. Boy there, come at a fine time, you have. Care for a rotten egg? 'Twas soft boiled right here in the hot spring. 'Tis mostly sand, won't kill you or no. No? Well, 'twas fancy what made me make it in the first place. Still, can't say I've much respect for someone who would refuse a soft-boiled egg, so clearly made with tender care. 'Twas the fruit of countless failures, 'twas. Have you no heart? Ah, forgive me. 'Twas an unkind thing to utter to one oh ye affliction, Arisen. Say, when will ye be taking apart the dragon? I could do with some entertainment, me.
So, we finally arrived. I thought we'd never make it.
You've my thanks for this. At last, I've ne'er seen a more welcome sight. The spring here has been visited since time prevailed for its curative properties. I only hope to be able to ease the ache in my back. I'll go have my soak now, if 'tis all the same to you. Can't have Cleona fretting over how long I've been gone. Ooh, it twinges a bit.
'Twould seem I owe you a debt of gratitude and an apology. True to your word, you have seen my husband safely to the spring. I was so afeared for his well-being, I couldn't bring myself to sit at home, waiting, wondering. So I followed you at a distance, though now I see I needn't have. My husband and I are met with persecution everywhere we turn, you see. More than one village we thought to call home has driven us away. That is why we live in so far-flung a place. Gaustaffer can bear the judgment well enough, but I cannot. You, at least, have proven deserving of our trust. My husband was right about you. You are a kind soul, indeed. I shall not soon forget this good turn you've done my husband and I. You are welcome to visit us again, if your travels should happen to take you as far as our abode. I would fain lend you my skills as magic archer maester, and I'm certain my husband would be only too glad to take up his blacksmith's hammer for your sake.
You earned a favor from the magic archer maester without even meaning to. I suppose 'tis all in a day's work for you.
After all, I owe you a debt of gratitude. 'Tis the least I can do.
Time for a few sips.
Perhaps this will seem of little consequence, but different masters favor different pawns. One whom I served preferred to have beastrons for allies.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Hold on a moment. I'll be needing my fee before you go in.
It twinges a bit. Aye, you've my gratitude.
I fear for my life.
What's all this ruckus?
Are we leaving already? Bother. I was just getting warmed up.
You wish me to return? At once, Master. This is rather thrilling.
Stop!
And here we are, in the blink of an eye. Shall we take stock of our surroundings?
Look at my wares. The world's changing. Not sure how much longer I can keep the open. It's tough, but complaining won't do any.
I have no issue falling asleep. Should we hunt a few monsters to start the day off?
Off we go, then.
You want something?
Save it, cuz. Good day, sir.
Black Batal is not a friendly place for pawns. Each gaze we encounter feels more unjustly vicious than the last.
Let no hardship keep us from our charge. We go with the Arisen, wheresoever.
You there? Have you a home in Batal? If not, well, look no further. As it so happens, I've one to sell. Now, I've noticed you tend to travel with pawns. Bold choice here in Batal, where they're ill-loved. So I thought you might prefer a home of your own to stay at, rather than a crowded inn. Well, what say you? A wise decision, sir. Do be sure to read over the deed. Here you are, dear.
Mayhap we can exchange information. Would you consider doing me a favor? So be it.
Life is full of chances to further reflect.
Any interesting tidings to share?
First monsters, then the dragon. Dangerous.
The state of things makes my lot rather difficult.
You there, what are you doing? Escort this guest of ours inside.
Welcome, welcome. In the market for newt liquor, are you? You've a taste for it, then I take it. Do be sure not to imbibe too much at once.
Might there be aught over there?
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
Puh! That's like to make me sick, it is. Still, there's not a swig of newt liquor can't fix, I always say. Hoy there! Come at a fine time, you have. Care for a rotten egg? 'Twas soft boiled right here in the hot spring. 'Tis mostly sand. Won't kill you or naught. You're a bold one. Here you are.
Let my bird lie, however.
Still, there's naught a swig and... Boy there, come at a fine time. You care for a rotten egg? 'Twas soft boiled right here. Bought me some newt liquor, have ye? Many thanks, Cos. Don't mind if I do. Aye, that's the stuff. There's naught finer than a gulp of newt liquor. After a hot bath, 'tis bliss, pure and simple. But I'll need me a nibble to go with my glug. Down the hatch. Aye, this is a dream come true, 'tis. Suppose you deserve aught for your trouble. Here you are, cuz.
I expect Sir Lamond will further loosen his lips if we continue to gift him newt liquor.
Well now, if it ain't the current arisen. Fair. Have you come for a dip in the hot spring? Or mayhap to speak with me? Is that right? Suppose I can indulge you a moment. So consarn it. This bottle's empty. Apologies, cuz. But I can't... Well now, have you come for a dip in the hot spring? Aye. That's kind of ye. I was just craving some more of this. But what are you hoping for, cuz? Some sort of boon? Suppose I could oblige a fellow arisen. What? Hadn't you noticed? That's a bit embarrassing, eh? I'm a former arisen. Mine, one who couldn't fell his dragon. And if there's aught more shameful than that, in my case, it all came down to a lack of skill. Mayhap I could fell such a beast now, but my dragon's long gone. Brings a tear to your eye, don't it? But don't cry for me, cuz. Just know that you've got my full support. I'll be glad to see ye succeed where I once failed. Only, don't do it for me. Do it for yourself. Bring your dragon low, and taste Care to join me for a glug or free, cuz? Damn near brings a tear. This is for ye, cuz.
And here we are, in the blink of an eye. Shall we take stock of our surroundings?
I think...
Beg pardon, sir. But you are the Arisen, are you not? Captain Brandt bade me ask aught of you, if you would hear it. However, it is a matter best kept from prying ears. Might we not move... Firstly, pray, take this. 'Tis a regalia sword. One of the 'tis my duty to guard it. Yet, I have stolen it from the masquerade hall where 'twas on display. A duplicate now rests in its place, and I must beg you to keep the true artifact hidden, lest generations of Amundian rulers have wielded it, though not in battle, of course. 'Tis a ceremonial weapon for use in parades and the like. Yet, Disa's disdain for tradition has seen the blade suffer. 'Tis fractured, and has lost much of its former luster. Captain Brandt, is of a mind to restore it, so that it might serve as a symbol of your authority, Sir Arisen. Indeed, when the time comes for you to announce your ascension, having this sword at your hip would doubtless elevate your standing in the eyes of the people. And I must confess, having watched over the blade for many a year, I've grown rather fond of it. I should be well glad to see it restored to its former splendor by your hand. My hopes for our kingdom and its treasure go with you, Sir Arisen. I bid you good fortune.
The world's changing. Not sure how much longer I can keep. Being open. It's tough.
I might nod off for one second.
Someday, I'll forge a blade fit to slay a dragon.
If 'tis a blacksmith you need, I can't help you. I'm retired, see? Oh ho! 'Tis a regalia sword you want restored, is it? That's a first. All right, give us a look then. Now here's a masterwork of craftsmanship if I e'er saw one. Not to blow my own horn, but I wager I'm the only blacksmith who could set this ailing steel to rights. But, as I've said, I've lain down my tools, and before you start begging, know that I don't intend to pick 'em back up. Well, why are you still standing there? Leave an old man in peace.
That went rather poorly, I fear. What are we to do now?
Beg pardon, sir, but I couldn't help overhearing your conversation with Brocker. You'll have to forgive him. He's been in a foul mood ever since we got cut off from the fuel for our forge. Though, he's always been a bit crotchety, come to think of it.
Enough cheek, you wool-brained wastrel! Now, I'm off to the tavern. Can I count on you to mind things here while I'm gone?
Of course you can. You go enjoy yourself. Psst. Hang about, eh? When he's gone, you and I can talk. 'Twas special made to use glimmer coal, mined from a nearby cavern. Till the monsters settled in, that is. Neither of us can go anywhere near the place now. Listen, Brocker's too proud to ask for help, but I'm not. Would you be willing to go out to the cavern and mine us up some glimmer coal? I'll take as much as you can carry. Should you succeed, I reckon he'll change his mind about restoring that blade of yours. Now, true to its name, glimmer coal emits a pale light. So you'll want to cast your eyes about for any glowing spots when you get to the cavern. Oh, suppose you'll be needing the name of the place. Digger's Ruins 'tis called. I'll count on you to bring lots of the stuff back. You're back! Have you any glimmer coal for me? That's plenty. Many thanks. We've got more glimmer coal. Now we can reignite the forge.
'Tisn't the forge what needs igniting, girl, but your fool ears. I've told you my smithing days ended when those monsters moved in. I've no use for glimmer coal anymore. I'm done, understand? I'll not hear another word about that rusted hunk of steel. If you're so keen to have it repaired, then see to it yourself. No, leave...
Oh, I was certain he'd pick up his tools again if we only had more glimmer coal. My apologies for putting you to all that trouble, sir, but mayhap your efforts needn't go to waste. I could try my hand at repairing that sword for you, if you'd be agreeable. Way I see it, if old Brocker's the only smith with the skill to see it done, then I'm your best hope, being as I'm his apprentice and all. Well, what say you? I'm grateful for your trust, sir. You'll soon see your faith was well placed. Mayhap not soon as 'twere. I fear I'm a novice in the truest sense. I'll be needing some time. But I'll see it done all the same. You have my word. Mark me. This blade will be shining like a star by the time I'm finished with it.
Sarah might be the dwarf's apprentice, but restoring that sword will be no mean feat. Is she truly up to the task?
I've ne'er seen this sort of craftsmanship. Hi there, Arisen. Forgive me, but I've made nary a lick of progress toward restoring that sword of yours. The blade's make is as intricate as 'tis beautiful. Suppose that's why these things ne'er see battle, eh? If I only knew how to create this pattern on the steel, mayhap the rest had come easier.
What are you jabbering about now?
Oh,
You're looking at the work of a blaze hammer. 'Tis a process scarce employed, but one befitting the prestige of a regalia sword. Honestly, girl, you're no apprentice of mine if you can't figure out aught as simple as that.
Sorry, Brocker. Must have slipped my mind. But if these patterns were the work of a blaze hammer, mayhap that's what it'd take to fix the blade. If you've not heard the term, 'tis where you heat your hammer to extreme temperatures by dipping it in magma. 'Tis hardly e'er used since the hammers like to cool afore you can forge aught with it. Brocker's explained the process to me, but I wonder if that's enough.
It seems 'twill take a rather complex process to restore the sword, but I've no doubt that Sir Sarah is up to the task.
I suppose 'tis so.
How could that whelp fail to recognize the distinctive traces of a blaze hammer? Ah, but it's what she does next that really counts.
Knowing that the patterns on the sword were the work of a blaze hammer complicates matters somewhat. Suppose I'll sleep on it. Mayhap the answer'll come to me on the morrow.
You're the one who brought that regalia sword here in the first place, aye? I want a word. It's that fool apprentice of mine. I haven't seen her since yesterday. Knowing her, she skipped off to the mountain base cave on Volcanic Island to try her hand with a blaze hammer. It's the only place with enough heat, see? Since you're the one who inspired this nonsense, you'd best go find her. And bring her back in one piece, lest I ring my hammer against that hollow shell you call a skull!
Gathering materials makes for dull work indeed.
'Tis a strange sort that ventures willingly into darkness.
Am I the first to notice we've all got different vocations?
'Tis a tad inconvenient.
If 'tisn't the Arisen, come to check up on me, have ya? Well, I'm faring just fine. In fact, I've done it! See? 'Tis a blaze hammer. All that's left is to get this to the forge outside the cave. I hope you're ready, Arisen, as there's not a moment to spare. Follow me, and quickly.
Make haste for the cave exit. This obstacle shan't get the better of us. There must be a way to remove it. I can attack at a moment's notice, Master. I expect you'll be wanting my assistance.
Scalding hot. Let's... We're nearly there now. Isn't looking good. The hammer's lost near half its heat. We've made it out at last. Good on you for keeping up. Right, now to do what I came here for. Then it's back to the smithy for the finishing touches.
We've arrived well enough. Where to next?
You bird-brained buffoon! Where have you been?
Brocker! Sorry,
There's no time for apologies, girl. We've got to get that blade on the anvil, lest the blaze hammer's treatment be for naught. You're the first apprentice of mine with the gumption to do aught like this. You got the blaze hammer work done, and you did it right. But the hardest part's what comes next. I'll walk you through what's needed, though I dare say it is one of the few lessons I've left to teach you. You've proven yourself this day, Sarah. You're the one fit to carry on my techniques and this smithy. But not if you're gonna stand there and gawk. To the forge with you, girl!
come in, Brocker. Hi, Arisen. I've been waiting for you. Here it is. Your regalia sword. Looks newly forged, doesn't it, eh? Brocker had me working on it for hours. Got nary a wink of sleep. But owing to that, methinks it turned out real fine. I only hope you're pleased with it. 'Tis as much your success as mine. So much has changed for me since you first brought that sword to the smithy. I feel as if I'm finally on the path to becoming a blacksmith in my own right. Thank you, sir, for all you've done on my behalf. I hope looking pleased with how the sword turned out. I certainly am. I'm going to keep learning all sorts of techniques till I'm no longer an apprentice, but a blacksmith in my own right. Expect great things of me, you hear?
It isn't as if I've anything better to do. I'm a master of the craft, I am. Naught better to do than chinwag with an old man.
Come to think of it, we've already found what's needed here. It should be in one of our packs.
Now here's a welcome sight.
I've got to focus. The shift's only just begun.
Well met, Sir Arisen. Might I inquire as to what's become of the regalia sword? So this is how the sword looked in its glory days of yore. 'Tis splendid to behold. I thought the blade ought to be restored for its history, but seeing it like this, I feel it means something more. So pray, give my thanks to the blacksmith who repaired it. 'Tis fine work she has done. Impeccable, I should say. And you, Sir Arisen, you have my sincerest gratitude. You have breathed life anew into one of our kingdom's most sacred treasures. I can imagine no worthier symbol of a sovereign's majesty. I await the day it shall adorn your noble hip with bated breath. Such gleaming splendor. The hilt alone must be worth a noble's ransom. Oh! I do beg your pardon, Sir Arisen. I had not seen you there.
Caril, kemen rostindo non meltol. Morvea curwir. You're no elf. Halan lome meltol. Firnis nambawe. I am called Darren. My brother taught me to speak your tongue. So different from our own. I learned the words, but this is the first I use them. Others of your kind have come here, but my people warn them away. Oh, but I cannot stay. I must, see to the Arbor Heart. My duty is to care for this. The Arbor Heart, she is called. She has been with us a very long time. She is nature's very heart, and a pillar of strength for my people. We have always lived in harmony with nature, and the Arbor Heart is our connection to the land. Yet, day by day, her strength is failing. I must give her nourishment of the soil to help her recover. A special kind, called Gwifentia in my language. I know once a dwarf wandered into the arbor and gifted some to us. It filled the Arbor Heart with life. Now, little remains. Too little for the Arbor Heart to recover her strength in full. Do you know of this substance? It must be found outside the arbor somewhere. If you find any, will you tell me where it lies?
You can always depend upon me to translate for you, Master. Gwyfenture is the Elvish word for scale cinder.
In your tongue, it is called scale cinder? Where can it be found, I wonder?
Now, scale cinder is a byproduct of the Batali smithing style. A Batali blacksmith ought to be able to tell us more.
If you see him on your journey, will you let me know?
What are you staring at?
Our road was a long one, but here we are at last.
Wow, wow. Look who 'tis. What brings you to the smithy? Looking for scale cinder, are we? Well, you're in luck. Our forge is flit. Oh, 'tis at an elf's behest, you say. I'm afraid that changes things a wee bit. Elves and dwarves don't get along, see? Brocker won't want to help you. Unless you were to offer him aught he couldn't resist. Listen, I happen to know there's one bit of elven culture no dwarf can turn their nose up at. All elven fare's bland as grass. All of it. That is, save the singularly flavoursome dish, Nutriab. Course, no dwarf would openly admit to having a taste for it. But the fact of the matter is, the mere smell of that dish has dwarves foaming at the maw. Don't believe me? Bring a bowl of it to...
So, the blacksmith ought grant us some Gwyfenture in exchange for Nutriab. Shall we inform Miss Derrin of this, Master? A person of import, I take it. Very well. We'll lead the way.
Have you found Gwyfenture? A dwarven blacksmith has some? Truly? But elves and dwarves do not see, eye to eye? You believe he will if I prepare an elven dish? Which Nutriab? Dwarves have a liking for it, they say? Are you certain? Nutriab is not very tasty. Few elves enjoy it. It is a pungent stew of, old fish and apples, boiled till it forms a thick paste. But I shall prepare it, if it has any chance of bringing me Gwyfenture. The arbor, would you be willing to gather the ingredients for me? You won't have to go far to find them. I thank you. I need only the two main ingredients, rotten apples and rotten fish. Bring them to me, and I will prepare Nutriab.
Rotten fish and apples.
Oh, do you have the ingredients? This is all I need. I will prepare the dish now. It shan't take long. My people dwell in the mountains, so we are rarely able to dine on fish from the sea. This dish was first made by an elf with a craving for fish, when no fresh fish was to hand. These fish already stink of the sea. Left to rot, they turn even more, pungent. Nutriab is oft served at celebratory events, but I have never seen anyone eat it. Everyone turns their noses from the smell. I must endure. It is almost finished, thankfully. The stink is more than I can bear. It is ready, but it is so vile. I cannot understand how anyone could stomach it. I fear the dwarven blacksmith will be angry if I present him with this. But I will trust in you. Come, let us away to Batal. I thank you. Here, my brother gave this to me. Might we not use it now? The sooner we arrive, the better.
And here we are, in the blink of an eye. Shall we take stock of our surroundings?
You're back! And who's that you've got with you? An elf? I ne'er met one afore. Not quite what I imagined, if I'm honest. Well met. The name's Sarah. I'm an apprentice here at the smithy.
Well met.
She's the one who's after the scale cinder, I expect. Have you brought some of that elven delicacy along with you then, like I suggested?
Yes, I have the Nutriarb with me.
Marvellous. I thought I smelt it on you. Mark me, you put that in front of Brocker, and he'll fain hear out your request. Right, follow me. I've just cleaned out the forge, see, so we'll need to make for the cavern where we dump all the excess scale cinder. Come on, you two. The cavern's this way.
Shall we follow Sir Sarah, Master? With any luck, we'll have pockets full of scale cinder before the day is done.
No quarrel here.
A customer then. That changes things.
Right, here we are. Oi, Brocker, you in here?
What's all this racket? I thought I told you that... You imbecile! You brought an elf here, of all things! Get her out of here, now!
Hold a moment, Brocker. She's brought something for you. Don't you want to see what is?
A gift. For you.
Bah! What makes you think I'd be able to stomach your elven cooking? I'm gonna go dispose of this, and I expect the elf to be gone when I return.
What am I to do now?
What you came here for, of course. This is your chance.
Truly? But...
You'll have to be quick, mind. Brocker makes short work of his meals. While you're at it, you might have yourselves a little competition, eh? See who can collect more of the stuff. Anyway, good luck. I'll be outside keeping watch. Best start searching. Brocker might be back any moment.
If there is to be a competition, we shall not be found wanting. Let us gather every ounce of scale cinder we may.
I must get as much as I can. The Arbor Heart depends upon it. Oh, I've got some.
already? Bother. I was just getting warmed up.
Oh! Are you done collecting already? That was quick. Suppose we'll wait till Darren's done as well, then head back, eh?
My heart is racing. I thought the dwarf would catch us. How much scale cinder did you get? Oh, it seems I got more. Does that mean I win? For now, I must return and tend to the Arbor Heart. I hope you will come visit us again. I should like you to see the Arbor Heart, restored. And I must thank you as well, Sarah. You and the blacksmith, Brocker.
Not at all. 'Twas my pleasure. I'm sure Brock'd say the same if he weren't so stubborn.
Now the Arbor Heart is sure to recover, and seeing Miss Darren's cheerful mien made all our labours worthwhile.
My heart is light as a feather after that exchange.
No thanks needed. I was just glad to be of use. I hope the scale cinder sees that tree of hers flourish.
Surrounded by winches on all sides. And precious little time.
Surely no fate more wretched than this.
Halan Osterlintan. Non wende hiroth.
You're here. You must come see. Look there. New buds. The Arbor Heart is recovered. And as she and I are as one, I feel renewed myself. You saved her. I will never forget this debt of gratitude as long as I live. The Arbor Heart seems gladdened to have new life in her boughs. Fortunate I am that we crossed paths. Perhaps we... All is well, thanks to you. Perhaps we can journey outside the Arbor together again someday.
Follow me.
Salma Aren.
Non fe Nambawi.
Nun ve Olanda Atar.
Anendone falungtana, aidalia anandor.
Oh, well. Aren't you a fine specimen? Might I trouble you to show me your tongue? You're the very picture of health. I dare say a constitution such as yours could survive most any toxin. Have you ever crossed paths with an asp? If you have, I'm sure you'll agree that they are masterful poisoners. Not only do they spew venom with abandon, but they're crafty enough to coat their spears with the substance. Truly remarkable behaviour. 'Tis fit to pique any scholar's curiosity, no? Thus, my task for you. Might you be so kind as to return to me afflicted with asp venom? The opportunity to study the poison's effect on a living specimen would further my research by leaps and bounds.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
I'd say we collect as much as we can carry.
To battle already? Much of a retreat.
Try not to get hit, lest all that vim go to waste.
A battle avoided is a battle won, I suppose.
Little does our foe realise how narrowly they escaped death's touch.
It's no great shock to me.
Oh, marvellous! I can see the asp venom is hard at work in your veins. Come, allow me a closer look. Let's see it. Pupils dilated, tongue swollen, and that's to say nothing of what's going on in your internal organs. So much to study. Splendid! I dare say I've learned all I can. I am in your debt, my friend. In truth, I did not expect you would oblige me. I have put this task to many, yet you are the first to follow through. When at last my research bears fruit, I will have you to thank. Now, on to your next task. I would have you subject yourself to the venom of the venin harpy. These magnificent creatures hunt in flocks, bombarding their prey from on high with a noxious onslaught. Hurry along and return only once you are afflicted. Oh, I can hardly wait.
This ladder can take us to... We hunt venin harpies next, though I suppose we are the quarry. Let us begin by seeking out the beasts. Follow me, Arisen.
And so, fun begins again. Hey, Arisen?
I don't suppose begging for a reprieve gets far with one of his lot.
Tis easily done.
My magics are at your disposal.
Well met, sir.
How might I be of Remarkable! I can tell at a glance that the venom of a venom harpy is wreaking sweet agony upon you. Yes, indeed, the toxin is making fine progress. Let's see here. Elevated temperature, peeling of the skin, pupils unfocused. Oh my, so much to study. Splendid! I dare say I've learned all I can. I must thank you, my friend, for your steadfast assistance. I'm on the cusp of a new breakthrough, and all thanks to your tireless efforts. Now, as for the next task, have no fear. It will not be so trying as the last. This time, I would have you accompany me while I subject myself to the venom of the Chimera. Much in this world can only be learned by experiencing it firsthand. My own health is a small price to pay to advance work of such enduring significance. I've marked out the spot I'll wait for you on your map, so be sure to join me there as soon as you can. We shall seek out the Chimera together. Here at last. Now to locate that Chimera.
I do hope Sir Yar will be all right. Let us safeguard him well, lest he meet an early end.
Tis no great shock to me.
There are one or two places of interest nearby. I could tell you more about them if you like, Master.
This is it! The venom. I'll be off then, friend. My work here is done.
Do not waste this chance. We must press home our advantage.
Time and the victory to hand. Let us finish this.
No slouching now. Let's see this done.
There are one or two places of interest nearby. I could tell you more about them if you like, Master. We've arrived well enough. Where to next?
My heartbeat pounds in my ears. My gut writhes like a nest of snakes. Extraordinary. This is the potency of the Chimera's venom. I feel more symptoms developing even as I speak. The poison must be entering its final stages. Allow me to thank you ere I lose consciousness. Once again, your assistance has proven invaluable. Thank you for your help, my friend. Few would have deigned to give me the time of day.
Oh, Not bad, all things considered.
We have achieved our objective.
Thank you again, my friend. Your contribution shall not be forgotten.